Yo, yo, yo. Happy Sunday, people. Happy Sunday. It's your boy Jay Jordan back again for another Liberty Watch Along. Well, today, busy slate in the W. All 12 teams are playing today. There's 3 games in this 3 o'clock window, and then there's 3 games in the 6 o'clock window. I hope y'all stick with me for the whole day. We'll be doing this game, the Minnesota Lynx versus the New York Liberty, and then we'll be doing the later game, which is the Connecticut Sun versus the Las Vegas Aces. Playoff positioning still up in the air. Teams still fighting. Eighth seed still up for grabs. People could still move around towards the top of the league. So we're gonna be keeping an eye on that all throughout this WNBA window today. Well, we have the Minnesota Lynx versus the New York Liberty. This is the third and final regular season matchup, of this season. They've played 3 times already, however. They played in the Commissioner's Cup final, in which the Liberty did lose. So, the Liberty, we're going to touch on the starting lineups in a minute, but the Liberty looking to finish the season on a strong note against a team that they could potentially see later on down the line. We'll start off with the starting lineup. Starting lineups for the Minnesota Lynx. We got Courtney Williams, Kayla McBride, Bridget Carlton, Nafisa Collier, and Alana Smith. For the bench, Cecilia Zandalasini, Dorka Juhas, Natisha Heidemann, Alyssa Pali, Diamond Miller, and Maisha Hines-Allen. I didn't see anybody on their injury list for them. For the New York Liberty, you have Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina Ionescu, Benija Laney Hamilton, Brianna Stewart, and Jonquel Jones, Their bench, Leonie Febich, Marquisha Davis, Kayla Thornton, Ivana Dojkic, Jalen Sherrod, Kennedy Burke, and Niara Sabali. I did have Niara with the asterisk around her name because she did go down during the last game on that wrist that's been bothering her. But looking at the pre-game press conference, they said she's available and good to go, so I'll remove that asterisk from her name. Alrighty, nobody else to report injured for the Liberty. Alright, on the screen I also have the all-time New York Liberty points scored list. Sabrina Ionescu, in the past couple watch-alongs we've done, she's moved up the list from 7th to now she's at 5th. She passed Crystal Robinson, who's now assistant coach with the Atlanta Dream. She passed her in the last game against the Dallas Wings. And now she's at 2,316 points. She's about 51 away from tying Becky Hammon, 52 points away from passing Becky Hammon for 4th on the New York Liberty all-time scoring list. So we'll see what she does today. I don't think she'll get 57 today, but she could inch a little closer with 3 games left in this season. I think she can get to number 4 by the end of the season. Injury permitting, knock on wood for that. All right, the Lynx are 28-9. They're right behind the Liberty, who are 31-6. Both teams have 3 games left in the season to play. The Lynx can get a little closer. They won't overtake the Liberty if they win. The Liberty can solidify the number 1 overall seed in the WNBA playoffs with a win this afternoon. For those who do want to watch the game is on League Pass if you don't live in the New York or Minnesota areas. If you're in the New York, New Jersey area, the game will be on My 9. I think, My 9 is going to be on. So that's where I will be watching it here. So, and you can watch it on the Liberty Live app. Liberty, that app. I'm gonna put app in quotes because it's not really an app. It's basically like a stream that you can access through the Liberty app. Alrighty, I expect the Liberty to win this game. They've been playing well recently. Minnesota has been playing well too, but I expect the Liberty to win this game, and I hope they do. Beulah, what's going on? Salute. Hey, cuz, what's going on? Hope you and the girls are well. These 2 teams, the thing to focus on will be the 3-point line. When it comes to 3-point percentage, Minnesota is number 1 in the league at shooting 38% from the 3-point line. New York is behind them at 35% from 3, so New York is in 3rd. Another thing that Minnesota does really well is pass the ball. They're number one in the league in assists, 23.3 assists a game. New York is right behind them at number 2 with 23.1 assists per game. So these two teams are pretty evenly matched in those key areas. Turnovers is where I expect the Liberty to really have to focus, because they could get real shaky for the Liberty because they can turn the ball over a lot. So we have to keep an eye on those turnovers. Game 1 of the series was on May 25th. Liberty lost 84-67 in Minnesota. The next time they played in the regular season was July 2nd. Liberty won in New York 76-67. And this is the final game of the regular season series. Looking at the recent games, Minnesota has won their last 5 games, so has New York. So both teams are coming in riding a nice winning streak at the moment. This game's supposed to start at 3 o'clock, so we got about 3 minutes until tip-off. Looking at the other games, I have them in your screen. We're going to be focusing on those as well, or keeping an eye on those, I should say, as we go. You got Dallas here versus Indiana at 3 p.m. That game is on NBA TV. Dallas already eliminated from playoff contention. Indiana, they're pretty much sealed in that spot where they are. They're pretty much sealed at that spot, so they're not going to be moving around too much there. But it would be good to get a win after losing back-to-back games to the Las Vegas Aces. The other game, Atlanta versus Washington. That game is a real battle for the 8th seed. I just got but right before I got on, I got news that Shakira Austin is probably going to be out the rest of the season for Washington. So that's a blow for them. She's been in and out the lineup all year, dealing with hip. Now it's a knee. So Shakira Austin will be out the rest of the season, as was reported. No Aaliyah Edwards in that game, the rookie out of UConn for Washington. So this game is pointing to Atlanta for the win. But we saw what happened on Friday. Washington ended up winning. Washington is currently the 8th seed right now. Chicago has fallen out of the 8th seed. So Washington, with a win here, could really strengthen their chances to make the playoffs with 3 games to go. All right, let me switch to my 9 before I miss any of this game action. Later on, there's some more games later on. The 6 p.m. window will be back. If you're just joining, we'll be back for Connecticut at Las Vegas. That's at 6 p.m. Also, LA, the Sparks plays the Storm at 6 p.m. and Phoenix plays Chicago at 6 p.m. as well. So we'll be back to cover all of those matchups as well. So hope you guys stay tuned in. It'll be on a separate broadcast. Cause says the girls and I are good. I hope you're having a relaxing day. Can't wait to spend time with you virtually. Appreciate it. Yeah. I sold my tickets to this game. I was gonna go, but they released the playoff ticket prices, so I needed to make a business decision. So I had to sell them tickets for today's games. So they already announced the playoff schedule. I guess we just have to wait to see what the matchups are, and then they'll plug those matchups in to there. I just created this graphic. My widget was acting up. I wanted to use the updated widget, but I had to create this graphic right quick to show the playoff seeding. So the 1 versus 8 is New York versus the Mystics at your top left. The winner of that would play the winner of the Aces and the Storm, which is the 4-5 matchup at this point in time. If you go to the right side of your bracket, Minnesota is the 2 seed, Phoenix is the 7 seed. They would play in the first round, and the winner of that would take on the winner of the 3 seed Connecticut and the 6 seeded Fever. So that is the current playoff bracket right now. We'll see how it all shakes out when the season ends on Thursday. That will be the final games of the regular season. Every team will be playing. We have a nice broadcast planned for that. Hey mom, what's going on? What's up, mom? Oh, the broadcast has started. They brought out the torch tonight. That's nice. They brought out the torch there in Barclays. Other news that was released earlier today or yesterday, it said Camila Cardoso of the Chicago Sky. She's dealing with a shoulder injury. I'm not sure if it's the same shoulder she had that kept her out at the beginning of the season, but she's expected to be out today, which doesn't help their playoff chances, really. Let me turn the volume up on my headphones so I can make sure I don't miss any action. They're focusing on Benijah Laney from her performance on Thursday. She had 17 points and 6 rebounds, 3 for 4 from three-point line. Really coming back into her own after having that knee injury surgery in the Olympic break, and then she had a knee injury scare when she collided with Jonquel Jones in that game against the Las Vegas Aces. But she seems to be good. They're talking about the starting lineups. They're on your screens here. They are on your screens. And we're getting ready to get this show on the road here. Beulah says, can Sabrina pass Becky Hammon's record today? Unless she scores 57 points, which I don't think she will. She won't be able to pass it today. But I think after the final game of the season, she will have passed it if she can score pretty good numbers as we go. All right, players are ready to tip off here on this Sunday afternoon. I'm glad you guys are here. Make sure you leave a like if you're new, if you're on the stream. Subscribe if you're new here. We'll be back later on today, and then we'll be back on Tuesday, and then of course for the final games of the regular season on Thursday. So all the players are hugging, kissing each other. Oh, good to see you, girl. La la la, all that good stuff. So it's Napheesa Collier versus Jonquel Jones for the tip at center court. It is Noche Latina night down there in Barclays, and Jonquel Jones wins the tip, and we are off to start this game. Vandersloot with the ball. Vandersloot going to her right, gets it to Jonquel, top of the key, down to Stewie. Stewie against Napheesa, UConn on UConn, she misses. Rebound to Courtney Williams, over to Bridget Carleton. She's a good shooter out of Canada. Courtney Williams, she's a mid-range assassin. First one is up and misses. Rebound to Stewie. New York is in their white jerseys. Minnesota in their black. Benijah Laney Hamilton in the corner for 3, and that's how we get this game started. Benijah Laney Hamilton picking up where she left off on Thursday, knocks down to 3, and it's 3-0 New York. Courtney Williams with the ball. She tries to bounce past it to Alana Smith. They say it's a kick ball by Stewie. And that's the matchup I see. I see Benijah Laney Hamilton guarding Courtney Williams full court. They know Courtney Williams likes to play in that middle of the floor, that pick and roll game, trying to free herself. Courtney Williams with the ball, looking for Napheesa. Napheesa against JJ. She pump fakes, shoots a deep 2, and she knocks it down. Deep 2 for Napheesa, and she's on the board. 3-2, New York. Stewie with the ball, over to Benijah, guarded by Bridget Carleton. Benijah comes off the screen, going to her left. Gets the ball to Sabrina, top of the key. Sabrina, corner to Stewie. Stewie, mid-range jump shot, short. She knew it was short. And rebound to Alana Smith, over to Courtney Williams. Williams, over to Alana Smith. To McBride. McBride, bounce pass to Courtney. Back to McBride, top of the key. McBride on the drive, cut off. Courtney Williams on the drive. She's bumbling, stumbling, out to McBride for the top of the key 3, and she buries it. Kayla McBride knocks down to 3, and the Lynx have their first lead of the game, 5-3. Vandersloot with the ball. Vandersloot comes off the screen from Stewie, stops and gets it back to Stewie. Up top to Sabrina. Sabrina coming off the screen going right. Sabrina fakes the pass, hangs, and misses the floater. Rebound the Lynx. McBride on the run. McBride crossover, finds Alana Smith. She pulls up, baseline jump shot, misses. Ball gets tipped, and Sabrina doesn't secure it. Alana Smith gets her own rebound and scores. And it's 7-3 Minnesota. Vandersloot on the drive. Vandersloot probing, gets into the paint. No look to Sabrina in the corner for 3. And Sab right in front of the Liberty bench knocks down to 3. So 2 threes for the Liberty to start. It's 7-6 Minnesota. Napheesa brings it up the court. Hand off to Bridget. Bridget comes off the screen going left. Foul line jump shot is up and good for Bridget Carleton. She's on the board there. She's usually a 3-point shooter. Knocks down the mid-range. Sabrina passed down to Stewie, and they call a foul on Nafisa. That was a little weak of a foul there. I'm showing the replay of that Sabrina 3. I'll update Sabrina's points at the end of the first quarter. All right, so it's Liberty ball here. Jonquel with the top of the key. Gets it over to Sloot, over to Sabrina. Right side of the floor. Sabrina comes off the screen, going to her left. Sabrina over to Sloot. Sloot on the drive. Sloot probes into the paint. No look to Stewie in the corner. Jump shot is up and misses. So Stewie 0 for 3 so far. And Jonquel almost gets a steal on McBride. They get the pass to Nafisa. Nafisa down to Alana Smith. Alana Smith with the ball, dribbles back out to the three-point line. Hand off to Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams drives baseline, dribbles back out. Courtney Williams just probing around, goes back under the basket. 5 on the clock. Alana Smith gets the ball stolen by Sabrina. Sabrina on the drive, slows it down. Cross court to Benijah. Dangerous pass there. Benijah drives, comes off the screen, going to her left. Benijah into the paint, bounce pass to Jonquel, and it goes out of bounds. So it's a turnover by the Liberty. Ball back to the Lynx here. Lynx ball. Lynx were the 6th seed, I believe, last year. They now in a battle for the top seed in the W. Kayla McBride into the paint, throws up the floater. Ball gets tipped around, tipped out, and they say it's New York ball. No, both refs didn't know who to call it on, but they give it to New York. So it's 9-6 Minnesota. Sloot brings it up the court. Sloot now doesn't have the mask on anymore. She was playing with that mask to protect her nose. Now she has the mask off. Benijah gets the ball to Stewie. Stewie against Nafisa. UConn on UConn. Stewie back out to Benijah. Benijah for a 3, and she misses. Rebound to Nafisa. Nafisa brings it up the court. Nafisa on the attack, gets into the paint, dribbles back out. Hand off to Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams, mid-range jump shot is good. That's her wheelhouse. She loves those mid-range jump shots. It's 11-6 Minnesota. Vandersloot over to Stewie, and they call a foul on Jonquel Jones for an offensive foul. So another turnover to the Liberty here. What up, James? I forgot you at the Indiana game. That should be a good one. Oh, it looks like y'all are losing now though, 16-8. So ball with the Lynx. McBride comes off the screen and shoots, and a foul by Courtney Vandersloot. They're going to review it for encroaching on the landing area. So they're going to review this play for Vandersloot encroaching on the landing area here. Yeah, James, you're right. It is still early. Yeah, that's a kick out. That's a kick out. So they're going to review this play to see if Courtney Vandersloot impeded on the landing area. So it's 11-6 Minnesota. Brianna Stewart 0 for 3 so far in the game. She didn't really have a good game either that last game against Dallas. It was mainly Sabrina and Benijah carrying the scoring load. But Stewie's 0 for 3 so far. But in terms of scoring, everybody for Minnesota has scored in their starting lineup. You got 2 from Bridget, 2 from Nafisa, 2 from Alana, 3 from McBride, and 2 from Courtney Williams. It's only been It's only been Benijah and Sabrina for New York so far. They're still reviewing this play. Still reviewing this play. So far in these other games is Dallas 18, Indiana 10. You have Atlanta 12, Washington 9. A reckless close as she shoots. She kicks her shin. So Kayla McBride is going to the line. Free throw is up and good from McBride. So she gets 2 shots. I think it's 3 shots on the ball. I'm not too sure how I forget how these work here. McBride knocks down the second, and then they get possession of the ball. So it was 2 shots and the ball. 13-6 Minnesota. Ball into Nafisa, guarded by Jonquel. She drives into the paint, backs down. They send a late double over, and they leave Bridget Carlton. That's not the person you want to leave open, and she knocks down the 3. So that's a 5-point swing there for Minnesota. It's a 10-point game. Vandersloot over to Sabrina. Minnesota in a 9-0 run right now. New York needs to respond. Benijah comes off the screen. They send a double over to her. Benijah over to Sabrina. And Kayla McBride gets the steal over to Bridget Carlton. Vandersloot with the steal right back. Sabrina over to Benijah. Benijah in transition. Slows it down. Over to Sloot. Sloot gets to the foul line. Jump shot is up and good. Defense to offense for New York. And they snapped that run by Minnesota there. 16-8. Ball to Bridget Carlton. They go under. She shoots another 3 and misses. Rebound to Jonquel. See if New York can get into double figures here. Jonquel brings it up the court. Goes behind the back. I thought Sloot should have cut. Gets it to Sabrina. Sabrina on the drive. Over to Stewie for 3. And Stewie knocks down the 3. 16-11. Minnesota up by 5. Alana Smith brings it up the court. Guarded by Stewie. Over to Bridget. Bridget comes off the screen. Over to Williams. Back to Bridget. Over to Alana Smith. Alana Smith to Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams, mid-range jump shot. Good. That's her wheelhouse. If she's hitting that, you're in for a long night. It's 18-11 Minnesota. Vandersloot with the ball. They get it to Jonquel. Gets Sabrina. Sabrina goes up, throws up the floater. Too strong. Doesn't use the backboard. And Minnesota on the run. They have numbers. Gets it over to Nafisa. Nafisa spin move, throws it up, and scores over Jonquel Jones. So Minnesota up 20-11 here. Sabrina had a wide open layup, overshoots the rim. And it's a 9-point game here. New York has to respond on defense. Vandersloot wide open, gets it over to Stewie. Stewie saves it and just bounce passes it to Nafisa. And they call a second foul on Courtney Vandersloot here. So New York, a little sloppy. Minnesota forcing them into some weird shots here, into long possessions. New York going to have to respond. It's 20-11 Minnesota. So we're at a timeout right now. I think it might be an officials. Yep, officials timeout here with 2:59 to go in the first quarter. Minnesota's up 20-11. I'm looking at these other games. You got Dallas up 26-18 and Atlanta up 14-9. Yeah, Beulah. They can't leave Bridget open. They got to go over on those screens. Cannot go under the screen on her, because that's what she's on the court to do. Shoot those threes. That's what Minnesota likes to do, shoot threes. All right, let me see who's putting in work for these other games right now. So you got 8 points from Natasha Howard and Satu Sabali in this Dallas Wings Indiana Fever game. 4 points from Aaliyah Boston. I don't even see. I guess they have Caitlin Clark on the bench at this moment. And how much Caitlin has? Caitlin Clark has 3 points so far, 1 assist. Still early in that game though. Still early. And Atlanta's up 15-9 so far. Atlanta, who's putting in work. 8 points from Tina Charles. 3 points from Carly Samuelson for the Mystics. It's going to be really interesting. New York really has to figure out how they want to play defense against these screens. Minnesota is a team that runs a lot of screens. You have to communicate if you're switching or who you're staying with. Got to know your personnel. Minnesota shooting 66% from the field. New York shooting 40% from the field. 4 turnovers for New York, 2 for Minnesota. All right, so it looks like Kayla Thornton has checked in. Let's see who she checked in for. It looks like Leonie Fevich and Niara Sabali have both checked in as well. So it's Minnesota's ball. It's Bridget Carlton, Alonda Smith, Nafisa, Courtney. So the same starters for Minnesota. It's Sabrina, Leo, Niara, Thornton, and Stewie. McBride bounce past Alonda Smith, gets around the defense and scores a layup. 11-point game here for Minnesota. Sabrina with the ball. Sabrina over to Stewie. Stewie, foul line jump shot, too strong. Wide open, just too strong on the jump shots for Stewie. Kayla Thornton with the gamble, puts the Liberty in a predicament, gets it over to Bridget Carlton, pulls up for 3, and knocks it down. You cannot gamble against this team. 25-11 here. You cannot gamble in the backcourt. Sandy Brondello calls a timeout. So Sandy Brondello not happy with those last 2 possessions after the officials' timeout. She calls her own. So Bridget Carlton knocks down her second 3. That she's 2 for 3 from the line. New York getting outworked, out-hustled here so far. Kayla Thornton, Stewie misses a wide open mid-range jump shot. Kayla Thornton tries to gamble on the steal. That leaves the Lynx with numbers going down the floor. Courtney Williams gets it right to Bridget Carlton, one of the best shooters in the league. She knocks down the open 3. Like I said before the game, Minnesota is number 1 in the league in 3-point percentage, and they're number 2 in the league number 1 in the league, in assists per game as well. So let's see how the Liberty respond after this. They're down 14 now. 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go here. Leo with the ball. Leo over to Sabrina. Xander Lassini and Heidemann have checked into the game for Minnesota. Sabrina, deep 3, and Sabrina knocks down the 3. Needed that badly. Back to an 11-point game here. Natisha Heidemann on the drive, throws up the left-hand floater and scores. Bumps Sabrina off and gets right to the basket. Sabrina on the drive, goes out to Stewie. Stewie over to Kayla Thornton in the corner. Kayla Thornton throws the ball out of bounds, and it's a turnover to New York. 5 turnovers for New York. What up, Maddox? The Liberty struggled so much against the Lynx. Yeah, we only played against them good 1 game. They're a matchup nightmare for the Liberty. Ball gets thrown out of bounds by Minnesota, and it's a turnover. 3rd turnover of the game for Minnesota here. So 27-14 here for Minnesota. Liberty down 13 at home in the first quarter. Usually a pretty good first quarter team. Niara picks up her dribble, gets it to Sabrina. Lynx playing very tough defense. Sabrina into the paint, picks up her dribble, goes up under, attacks, and scores the layup. Tough shot by Sabrina. Had to work hard for it, but it goes down just the same. 27-16. Alana Smith with the ball for the Lynx. Over to Heidemann. Heidemann pulls up for 3. Miscommunication between Sabrina and Niara, and she knocks down a wide open 3. Leo over to Stewie. They have 30 points in the first quarter. Stewie on the attack and gets fouled on the drive. 1 for 5 to start for Brianna Stewart. But she's going to the line for free throws. So Stewie first free throw is up and strong. Stewie's been struggling from the foul line a lot recently. Usually a pretty good foul shooter. She's misses that one too strong. Second free throw is up and good. So Stewie knocks down the second. 30-17 here. Minnesota up. Heidemann on the drive, dribbles back out, comes off the screen again. Over to Smith, over to Carlton. Kayla Thornton on her. Maisha Hines-Allen has checked in. Xander Lassini for 3, that's off. Rebound to Vandersloot. Liberty need a basket here. They might slow it down. Only 20 seconds to go in the quarter. They'll play for 1 shot here. Vandersloot dribbling out by half court. Looking to the sideline for the play. Vandersloot gets the ball. Over to Stewie. Stewie against Alana Smith. She stops. Out to Sloot. Sloot, 5 seconds. Down to Niara. Niara goes up. Misses. Stewie with the tip. And that's how the quarter ends. So at the end of the first quarter, the Minnesota Lynx score 30 points. 30-17, Minnesota. New York have to learn how to move the ball to the open player. They had an open Leo in the corner. Nobody sees her, and they forced a contested shot. So 30-17. As we go into the second quarter. So you got Bridget Carlton leading the way with 8 points for Minnesota. Everybody in the starting lineup has scored more than 2 points. You got 8 from Carlton, 4 from Nafisa, 4 from Alana Smith, 5 from McBride, and 4 from Courtney Williams. Now you have 5 off the bench from Natisha Heidemann. For the Liberty, you got 4 from Stewie on 1 of 5 shooting. You have Benijah Laney with 3. Jonquil hasn't even attempted a shot. She has 0. Sabrina with 8. And Vandersloot with 2. The game that the Liberty won, Jonquil Jones put in work. And she had about 21 points in the one game the Liberty won against the Lynx this season. James is over here venting about the fever. He said Kelsey refuses to pass the ball when doubled. Lexi has a lot of heart. And this game's going to drive you to drink. Listen, man. Sports can be very frustrating. Let me sign into my Liberty thing so I can get my points for watching this game at home. Let me check in. Claim points for watching. There we go. All right, so Liberty need to address some things. They're up to 5 turnovers here, shooting 42%, allowing Minnesota to shoot 70% from the field. They only missed 5 of their 17 shots in that first quarter. They were 4 for 6 from 3. They have 10 assists on their 12 made baskets. So like I mentioned, they're a very good assist team. So they're looking to make that extra pass to their teammate. They're all capable three-point shooters as well. New York, they're 4 for 6 from 3, but they have 5 turnovers, and they only have they have 5 assists on their 6. So they're doing the same thing as well. They're assisting the ball, but they're just not getting good enough shots here. So Jonquel Jones will start with the second unit here. She didn't take a shot in that first quarter. I remember that game in Minnesota. They kept that Champions Commissioner's Cup game. They trying to feed her, and that resulted in us losing. But the following game, when they played here at Barclays in the regular season, they did well when feeding her. It's 30-17 though. 30-17. Minnesota ball. Hines Allen with the ball. Hines Allen over to Xander Lassini, down to Alana Smith. Alana Smith steps through, reverse layup, misses. Gets her own rebound out to Heidemann. Heidemann on the drive, gets cut off. Throws it out to Xander Lassini. Xander Lassini on the drive, gets stripped by Kennedy Burke. Nobody gets the rebound. Over to Xander Lassini. Step back again, and she hits the tough one. Liberty don't get the loose ball there, and it's 32-17. Kennedy Burke over to Leo. Leo on the drive into the paint. Over to Jonquel. Jonquel gets fouled, and she'll go to the line. That's the thing about Jonquel. She caught that ball. She should have went straight up. But she decides to dribble, and that allows the defense to crowd around her. That's the only thing I've been vocal about Jonquel's game throughout the season, that she hits the first free throw. When she catches that ball high, she just needs to go straight up. She takes that extra power dribble to power up, and that allows the crowd to get around her. She is averaging 14.6 points and 9 rebounds a game this season, as she misses the second free throw. It's 32-18 here. Dorka Juhas into the game for the Minnesota Lynx. They get the ball to Xander Lassini. Leo gets a finger on it. But Heidemann dribbling off her foot, she gets it back. It causes a scramble for the Liberty. Carlton knocks down the 3. So even when they make mistakes, it still pays off for them. Ball down to Jonquel. Jonquel goes up on Juhas and scores in an instant. 35-20. Heidemann dribbled the ball off her foot. Somehow finds to a Minnesota player. And Heidemann on the drive to the basket goes up, and she misses the layup. Rebound by Leo. Leo over to Sloot. Back to Leo. Leo for 3. She misses. Kennedy fights for the rebound, but Hines Allen gets it. Hines Allen used to play with the Mystics, and Leo almost gets a steal there. It stays with Minnesota. So Minnesota to inbound here. Liberty down 15, 35-20. Ball into Heidemann. Heidemann to Carlton. Back to Heidemann. They want a screen from Juhas. Heidemann on the drive. Out to Carlton. Left side to Xander Lassini. Xander Lassini on the drive. Over to Heidemann. Corner to Juhas. Good defense. Juhas on the drive. Oh, Kennedy Burke blocks it out of bounds with 2 seconds to go. All the ball movement by Minnesota has the Liberty in rotation. Burke rotates around and gets that block right out of bounds. Ball into Hines Allen. She goes up. Oh, and it rolls over and scores. New York did everything right there, but sometimes the shots just keep falling. 37-20. Minnesota up 17 here in New York. Kennedy Burke with the ball. Kennedy Burke over to Jonquel. Jonquel tries to drive on Juhas. She does. Goes up and scores. That should be barbecue chicken for Jonquel if they want to put Juhas on her. 37-22. New York just need to get stops now and secure rebounds. Heidemann with the ball. Screen coming. They hedge out. Over to Carlton. Carlton on the drive. Spin move. Great D by Benija. Over to Heidemann. Heidemann for three. And she's short. Gets her own offensive rebound. Liberty and these giving up offensive rebounds. And you got to secure the rebound before you leak out. Ball to Hines Allen. Hines Allen against Burke. Goes up. Misses the shot. Rebound to Burke. Ball to Benija. That was a good stop by the Liberty. And they call an offensive foul on Leonie Fibich. And she takes a shot to the face here. She's setting the screen. How was that an offensive foul? Challenge that, Sandy. Sandy doesn't challenge it, so it's a turnover to New York. She's standing right there. How is that an offensive foul? And a turnover by the Minnesota Lynx, so it pays off for the Liberty. Yeah, James. Liberty, Minnesota can't miss. They make knocking down a bunch of threes. Liberty struggling here a bit to contain them. Ball and play with the Liberty. They need points here. Vandersloot with the ball. Vandersloot out to Jonquel. Top of the key three for J.J. And she knocks it down. J.J., this is her quarter. She knocks down the three. It's 37-25. And timeout called by Shower Reeve. 37-25. So it's a 12-point game here. Minnesota's up by 12. Liberty just have to take care of the ball and continue to bring that defensive effort, and things will pay off for them. We're in a timeout by Minnesota. So looking at these other games, looks like Indiana has made a comeback here, 40-37. They're only down 3. Atlanta up 3 against Washington. Let me take a look at these stats here. So Tina Charles with 12 points. Who's the leading scorer for Washington? 5 points for Jade Melbourne. Wings versus Fever got Howard and Sably both with 10 points. You got 14 from Caitlin. Caitlin has 14 points. Okay. She only has 1 assist, though. It's interesting. All right, so these games are, at least the other games are pretty close so far. 2-point game, 3-point game. Ours is the only game that's a blowout, a big double-digit lead right now. It's a 12-point game here in New York. So Sabrina's up to 8 points. So let me fix her numbers right now. For Sabrina Ionescu. So she's up to 24. 23, 24. So we're still in a timeout right now. Still in a timeout right now. Let me see what else is going on in the sports world. I'm not even a big NFL guy, but the Giants are actually winning a game. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? All right, so we're coming back to the broadcast now. Beulah said, Jay, if I watch the game, I will scream my lungs. Yeah, me too. I'm trying to keep it as calm as possible while I'm on the stream. But if I wasn't streaming, it would be a different story. But broadcast is starting back up. 8 assists on 9 made field goals. So the Liberty are sharing the ball. They just cannot secure rebounds on the other end. They're giving up second and third chances to the Minnesota Lynx. You have to secure the rebound first, then worry about trying to leak out to get easy baskets second. Ball back in play with the Lynx. So they brought a majority of their starters back into this game here. Minnesota did. They try to get the ball to Nafisa. Oh, it looks like Benita took a shot. Hines Allen goes up and misses, gets her own rebound, and that's what I just mentioned. She gets her own rebound and score. That's what's killing the Liberty here. They have 5 offensive rebounds, and they call a foul there on Courtney Williams for the reach-in. Liberty get the ball in bounds. It's 39-25 here. Jonquel Jones against Hines Allen. Jonquel, one fall away. That's a tough shot. That's not the offense that we need there. The ball has to move. Courtney Williams on the attack. Gets it over to Nafisa. Nafisa, mid-range jump shot. She misses. Rebound to Stewie. I want Jonquel to score, but I don't want her to shoot in one-leg fallaways after not passing the ball. Stewie into the paint, throws up the floater, bounces around, and scores. So back to a 12-point game. 39-27. Approaching 5 minutes to go here. Xander Lassini with the ball. Over to Williams. Williams wants to screen from Nafisa. Great defense by the Liberty. Oh, that's how you know it's sometimes just not your night. Both Liberty players tip the ball. It bounces off Jonquel's head right into Maisha Hines Allen's hands right under the basket. And it's a layup. 41-27. Jonquel Jones for 3, and she misses. Rebound to Nafisa. Liberty have to move the ball more. That's not the shots we need. Courtney Williams with the ball. Courtney Williams on the attack. She goes under the basket, looking for somebody. She still has it. Throws it to Hines Allen. Hines Allen over to McBride. McBride crossover, tries to get into the paint. Dribbling, step back, throws it up, gets blocked. Great defense by the Liberty. And Sabrina on the push here. Sabrina over to Burke. Burke to Benija. Benija for 3. Misses. Rebound to Stewie. Stewie gets up and gets fouled by Xander Lassini. James. No, the Liberty don't have injured players. Minnesota is a good team, and they were hitting everything in that first quarter. Liberty weren't helping themselves. Liberty were not helping themselves. But the defense has come along. They just have to capitalize here. Stewie, first free throw is up and good. Kennedy Burke did some good work there on the defensive end. She goes to the bench. Leonie Fevich back into the game. So Stewie at the line for her second free throw of the trip, and she buries the second. So it's back to a 12-point game. Liberty have to continue to get stops, continue to fight here. The shooting has cooled down for Minnesota. It's just the second chance baskets by the Lynx are causing an issue. Courtney Williams on the drive, goes up, misses the layup. They have numbers if they want it. Jonquel gets it to Sabrina. Sabrina over to Stewie. Stewie into the paint, goes up, one hand scoops it, and gets fouled by Alana Smith now. So Stewie goes back to the foul line. You have to attack. They have a player in the backcourt. You push it up and get the ball into the paint or work for an open shot. So Brianna Stewart back at the line for free throws. She's up to 8 points today so far. She's made 2 field goals, and she hits this free throw. So Nafisa Collier checks back in. I don't know who. I think that was Alana Smith who checks out. So Stewie to make it a 10-point game, and she buries it. So Liberty clawing back. They were down by as many as 17, and they've clawed all the way back. Nafisa, jump shot, goes right at Jonquel and scores. Nafisa is so tough, man. She is so tough. Stewie on the attack, gets into the paint, hangs, hits, and scores. So Stewie, after a couple trips to the foul line, has found a rhythm. Nafisa on the attack against Jonquel. Tries to go baseline. Gets cut off. Nafisa dribbles out. Over to Courtney. Courtney push shot. Bounces around and drops. Benija tried to late double and it left Courtney Williams open. If Nafisa's going to go for 50 on Jonquel, let her go. Sabrina with the ball. Sabrina on the drive. One leg fall away and score. Sabrina going left. One leg jump shot. Knocks it down. It's a 10-point game. So Liberty just have to get stops now. They're scoring now. They just have to get stops. Ball to Williams. Williams left side of the floor. Wants a screen. They send a late double to get it to Maisha Hines-Allen. Out to Bridget Carlton for 3. I don't think that's the offense, and she hits it. I don't think that's the defense to try and double off of that. They're too good from 3 to leave people open. Stewie on the drive, drives into Nafisa, throws it up, and scores. So it's an 11-point game. I don't think we should. I think you guard straight up. Nafisa, ball gets tipped, and it goes out of bounds off of Sabrina. Sabrina, great hands there. Timeout called. Miracle. Now, I'm not watching on League Pass. I'm watching on our local broadcast here in New York. But it hasn't gone black over here. Maybe they're having a connection issue at the League Pass office there. At the office there. But we're in a timeout now. Liberty down 1, 48-37. They're doing much better than they did in the first quarter. They gave up 30 in the first quarter. They've only given up 18 here so far with 2 minutes to go. The thing that's the game changer here for the Liberty is rebounding. Minnesota has 16 rebounds to New York's 9, and that's where they're giving up a lot of their second chance points here. It was especially that possession where Heidemann shoots a 3. Vandersloot leaks out to try and get a fast break. The ball bounces right back to Heidemann. She gets into the paint and they score. So you have to secure the rebound first and then worry about everything else. But it's still a lot of time to go. Still 22 minutes of game time to go. Liberty have been clawing back. Hopefully they have enough energy to make the complete comeback here. Looking at these other games, Indiana has taken the lead. 53-48 I'm seeing here. Indiana 53-48. Atlanta is up 34-29 on the Mystics. So Caitlin Clark with 15 points now and 3 assists. Natasha Howard with 18 points for the Dallas Wings. So we're still in commercial here. We are still in commercial. Still in commercial. Salute to everybody here on the watch along. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're just joining, we are in a timeout now. This game started off, Minnesota started off hot in this game. They scored 30 points in the first quarter. They've cooled down a bit. New York's defense has adjusted. They're still giving up some open threes. I think Sandy is going to have to adjust that defensive play, because if you try and double any of these players, they're all capable of shooting threes and they're willing passers. So you have to be careful with that. Ball and play with the Liberty. They only have 1 turnover so far in this second quarter after having 5 in the first. Nafisa with the ball with 5 on the clock. Over to McBride. McBride picks up her dribble, gets it to Nafisa. Nafisa, one leg fall away that's tough. Nafisa Collier at the buzzer. The shot clock buzzer knocks it down. Back to a 13-point game. Sabrina with the ball. Sabrina over to Stewie. Stewie over to Jonquel, over to Sabrina. Sabrina with 5 on the shot clock. Sabrina comes off the screen for 3, misses. Rebound to Courtney Williams. Minnesota will take that shot every day of the week. Nafisa with the ball. Hand off to Bridget. Bridget comes off the screen. They're looking for Nafisa. Stewie comes with the help in rotation, and Maisha Hines-Allen draws the foul. So Stewie went for the steal. She got her hand on it, couldn't secure it. And that put people in rotation. Maisha Hines-Allen gets fouled, going for a layup by Leonie Fibich. What up, Tudo? Yeah, New York doing New York things. Maisha Hines-Allen knocks down the first free throw. Both teams in the foul bonus here with 1:30 to go. Hines-Allen, midseason pickup by the Lynx, hits the second, and is back to a 15-point lead, 52-37. Stewie on the attack. Stewie shoots a contested jump shot. No, that's an ill-advised shot. No pass. Nobody else touches the ball. As Stewie dribbles up the court, Courtney Williams, mid-range jump shot, misses. Stewie with the rebound. Stewie looks to attack. Stewie gets to the paint, steps through, goes other side and reverse layups it home. 52-39. Under a minute to go here. Courtney Williams with the ball. Courtney Williams playing behind the screen. Over to Hines-Allen. Hines-Allen passes over to Nafisa. She gets it. They send a double to her. Nafisa dribbles out over to Williams. Williams wants the screen. Williams on the drive. She stops. Out to Bridget Carlton. Carlton for 3. Liberty get lucky there. They left Bridget Carlton wide open. That's the one person you shouldn't leave open if you're a Liberty player. Sabrina into the paint. Goes up on Nafisa and gets blocked. Nafisa with a great block there. Shot clock is off here. That's the thing. I mean, sometimes the Liberty players rush shots they don't need to rush. Courtney Williams with the ball. Liberty need a stop here for some momentum going into halftime. Courtney Williams wants a screen. She throws it down to Hines-Allen. Corner to Carlton. To McBride. McBride, shot clock violation. And, well, that's the end of the quarter. Oh, they said it's a shot clock violation. .3 on the clock. So good stop there by the Liberty. So Liberty will just inbound it just to end the quarter. And that's how it ends. So at the end of the second quarter, Minnesota 52, New York 39. Minnesota shot 60% from three-point range. We'll take a look at all that stuff at halftime there. A couple possessions there in that at the end of that second quarter when we had momentum, where players just ran up the court and was just shooting shots instead of trying to run an offense, try to get the best look possible. But Stewie finally woke up in that quarter. We'll take a look at it momentarily. All right, let's get to the box score here. All right, let's take a look at the box score, people. Thanks for hanging around. So far, Minnesota 52, New York 39. Minnesota outscored New York 30-17 in that first quarter. They both were tied 22-22 in the second quarter, which is why the score is 52-39. Bridget Carlton, 17 minutes, 5 for 7, 4 for 6 from 3, 14 points. You cannot leave her open. I don't care what the defensive rotation is. That's not the person you can leave open. Alana Smith, 4 points and 5 rebounds. You have Nafisa Collier with 8 points and 3 rebounds. She had 2 fouls as well as Alana Smith. Kayla McBride with 5 points and 3 assists. Courtney Williams with 6 points and 4 assists. Hines-Allen off the bench, 10 minutes, has 8 points and 4 rebounds. Xander Lassini with 2 points. Uhas with none. Heidemann with 5. For the Liberty, Benai Jelani Hamilton hit the first 3 of the game, missed the next 2. Brianna Stewart with 16 points, 4 rebounds. She went crazy in that second quarter. Jonquel Jones woke up in the second as well. She had 0 in the first, finishes with 8 at halftime. Vandersloot with 2 points and 3 assists. She has 2 fouls, and Sabrina Ionescu with 10 points and 2 assists in her 16 minutes. Kayla Thornton, no points. Kennedy Burke, no, none of the bench players have scored. I just looked at this. No bench players have scored for the Liberty. So if you look at that bench production, you got 15 points from the Minnesota bench and no points from the Liberty bench. So that has to change in the second half. Only 2 of them took a shot, Sabally and Fevich. Let's take a look at these team stats. All right, so in terms of field goal percentage, Minnesota shot 55% in those first 2 quarters. New York was at 48.3%. Minnesota shot 60% from 3. New York shot 45.5%. Free throw, New York shot 6 for 8. Minnesota was 4 for 4. Rebounding, Minnesota is winning that 19-11. You can see the offensive rebounds here. Minnesota's winning that 5-1, and they're winning the defensive rebounds 14-10. They focus on getting defensive rebounds. Courtney Williams, one of the best guard rebounders in the league. Assists, Minnesota 16 assists, New York 9 assists. Steal battle is equal. New York has 3 blocks to 1 for Minnesota. New York has 6 turnovers to 5 for Minnesota. They both conceded 7 points off of their turnovers. New York with 11 fast break points to 5 for Minnesota. Points in the paint, Minnesota is winning that 16-14. And the largest lead of the game was 17 by the Lynx. 17 by the Lynx. So that's the box score and the team stats, everyone. That's the box score and the team stats. Liberty need to equal up that rebounding margin. That is what is affecting them the most at this point in time. All right, let's take a look at the standings. Take a look at these standings here. Let me refresh this, make sure this is the most up to date. So, New York Liberty 31-6, number 1 record in the league. They just need 1 win to secure the number 1 seed in the WNBA playoffs. Minnesota, the team they're playing, right behind them at 28-9. If they lose today and Connecticut wins, it can make things really interesting coming down the stretch here. Got Las Vegas at 24-13, Seattle at 23-14, Indiana, who's currently playing at 19-19. Phoenix at 17-20, and Washington currently has the 8th seed over Chicago by way of the head-to-head matchups. Washington won that season series. Washington 13-24. Looking at the score there, it looks like Atlanta is actually beating Washington right now, 39-32. So if Atlanta wins, that could really make things interesting, because I think that season series would end up being tied between Washington and Atlanta. So something to keep an eye on there. Let's take a look at the schedules. Let's take a look at the Liberty schedule to end the season here. The Liberty, after this game, only have 2 games left. This season. So they play on Tuesday in Washington, and then they come back home to take on Atlanta. So the 2 teams that are fighting for the 8th seed, the Liberty will be facing in these next 2 games. So whoever wins the game between the 2 teams today, between Washington and Atlanta, it's going to be tough for them to try and hold on to that 8th seed. So I think New York should win these 2 games, depending on, you might see some desperation from these teams trying to get to that final seed. So New York still has to come out and play. Can't just go there expecting a win. And for the Lynx, their last 2 games of the season, they go up to Connecticut on Tuesday, and then they fly home to take on the LA Sparks. So that should be a win against the Sparks on September 19th. This game against Connecticut will be interesting. That'll be an interesting game. Let me look really quickly to see what that matchup is. That matchup could pretty much determine the 2 seed, honestly, depending on how today's results pan out. But looking at the season series, the Sun actually lead the season series. So if they end the season tied, Minnesota will go to 3 seed, and Connecticut would take the 2 seed if they finish with the same record at the end of the season. So a lot of things to pay attention to in these next couple games here as the season winds down to a close. All right, let's take a look at the schedule. Let's fast forward to today if this thing would let me. Okay, it won't let me. Let's see. Let's refresh this, see if it will let me get to that part. Oh, there we go. I was clicking the wrong thing. So today is the 15th. Let's take a look. So at halftime, we have Dallas, Indiana. Dallas is up 59-57 on Indiana right now. So it looked like Dallas came back after giving up the lead. New York down with the biggest deficit in the couple games we have so far, 52-39. And then we have Atlanta at Washington. Atlanta up on Washington in Washington, 39-32. The late slate of games, the 6 p.m. slate here on the East Coast, you have Phoenix at Chicago. Chicago might be without Cardoso in this game. So I expect Phoenix, even though they've been playing pretty terrible, to win this game. Connecticut at Las Vegas. That's the next watch-along we'll be doing later on today. After this watch-along is done, we'll go to do Connecticut and Las Vegas, 6 p.m. Eastern. That game is on CBS Sports Network. If you're not in the local areas of Connecticut and Vegas. And then the final 6 p.m. game, Sparks at Seattle. I expect Seattle to win this game against the eliminated LA Sparks. So some things to look at for the rest of the evening. Let's take a look at the remaining games this season. So on Tuesday, Minnesota and Connecticut. That'll be an interesting battle for the 2 seed. If Minnesota loses this game today and Connecticut beat the Aces, they'll both be tied with 2 games to go. So that could come down to the last day. The Liberty take on Washington down in Washington, 7 p.m. on NBA TV. 7:30, Chicago takes on Atlanta. That's an interesting matchup. Atlanta looks to have a favorable one there against Chicago, but you never know. The 10 p.m. slate, Vegas at Seattle, 10 p.m. The battles between the current 4 and 5 seeds. Seattle right behind Vegas. So if any slip-ups by Vegas and Seattle wins, that could come down to the wire. But Vegas does have the tiebreaker on Seattle, I believe, in the head-to-head matchups. And Phoenix at LA. Phoenix getting some cake teams towards the end of the season here for them. So this is Tuesday slate. There's no games tomorrow on Monday. No games on Wednesday either. And then on Thursday, the final day of the regular season. Final day of the regular season. Every team playing. So Chicago and Connecticut at 7 p.m. You have Atlanta at New York, 7 p.m. Indiana, Washington, 7 p.m. So they put all of these games that are on the East Coast, they put them all at 7 p.m. so nobody can start jockeying for positioning or trying to see what the other team is doing. Y'all all going to play at the same time. May the chips fall where they may. 8 p.m., the one central time game, I guess you could say, is Los Angeles at Minnesota. And then the 10 p.m. late games, Dallas at Las Vegas and Seattle at Phoenix. Con Landing says, I'm sure both Connecticut and Minnesota fans want their team to be the number 3 seed so they can host Caitlin Clark for two home playoff games. Yeah, for a monetary standpoint, that's true. For a basketball standpoint, that could be a accident waiting to happen given how how the Fever have been playing as of recently. So it's one of those things where it's probably good for business, but it could be a interesting series, because if you slip up one game at home, now you have to go to Indiana to try and close it out. So we will see how that pans out here between those teams, how they sort of jockey for playoff positioning. Take a quick look at the bracket once more. This is the current bracket. I made that last night, so this is the current standings, subject to change. Subject to change. So New York will play the Mystics as of right now. Aces will play Seattle as of right now, with the top seed hosting the first two games. It's a best of 3 series in the first round of the WNBA playoffs, and the higher seed hosts the first 2 games. Then you have Minnesota taking on the Mercury and Connecticut hosting the Fever. So something to look out for. You'll see what teams decide to do with these remaining games. If they decide to try and get away from a matchup, or just sit where they are at the moment. James said, close game. I'm happy now. Yeah. Indiana came back in that game. It's only a 2-point game, so you guys should be all good to go. All right. Thanks for sticking with me for halftime. The broadcast should be back shortly. They just went to their final TV commercial timeout, and then once they come back, we should be good to go for the second half. Make sure you leave a like on the video. It really helps the channel out. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe if you're new here. We'll be back later on today for Connecticut and Las Vegas, and then we'll be back on Tuesday, and most likely we'll be back on Thursday. I'm probably gonna switch some things up, covering all the playoff implications and things of that nature. Started the playoffs according to I think they released the playoff start on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Playoffs start next Sunday. I think they said it was the 22nd, the playoff start. So end of the season is Thursday. Playoffs should be starting Sunday. So yeah, let me see if I can get this, show this. Yeah. So for the first round, there'll be 4 games on Sunday, 2 games on Tuesday, the 24th, 2 games on Wednesday, the 25th, 2 games on Thursday, the 26th, and 2 games on Friday, the 27th. So for this whole first round, there will be no games. It doesn't even make it to the weekend. The first round goes from Sunday to max Friday. So from Sunday the 22nd to Friday the 27th, the first round will take place during that week. And then we go to the semifinals, which takes place from Sunday the 29th to the latest October the 8th. There will be no games on Saturdays. That's what I've seen so far. So no games on Saturdays. No games on Saturdays. James says, so the Fever drew the Sun. So far, it's still up in the air because the Sun and the Lynx could switch positions, so you could potentially have the Lynx as well. All right, broadcast is coming back. The Lynx lead the WNBA in third quarter scoring margin in the third quarter. It's funny because that's one of the Liberty's weaker quarters. They're usually good in the first and fourth, and struggle in the second and third. Well, not struggle, but do not as well in the second and third. Now the Lynx, they're facing a team that does really good in the third. Out of halftime, they come out with renewed energy and renewed adjustments. Ball in play here to start this third quarter. It's starters on the floor for both teams. Carlton over to Williams. Williams on the drive. Williams over to Nafisa. She loses the ball, recovers it, picks up her dribble. Over to Alana Smith. Alana Smith to Williams. Williams reverses out, gets it to McBride. Corner to Bridget Carlton. And again, Bridget hits the corner 3. Liberty keep leaving Bridget Carlton in the corner, and she is shooting practice there. And they call an offensive foul on Sabrina for trying to fend off, and it hits Kayla McBride in the face. So a turnover by the Liberty. Izzy said, "What did I miss? Who's not playing well?" It's not about who's not playing well. It's really about Minnesota playing excellent. They burying every three, and that's why they're up right now, and they're getting every loose ball here. It's 55-39. Bridget Carleton hit that last three. Courtney Williams with the ball over to Bridget. They go cross court to Nafisa. Nafisa pulls up for three, bounces around, and Alana Smith gets the rebound. Putback is good. Nobody comes to help Vandersloot in the paint. She's guarding Alana Smith down there, and they give up the offensive rebound. 6 offensive rebounds for the Lynx. They're already up 57-39 here, so they score the first 5 points. Sabrina comes off the screen. Sabrina tries to find John Quallins to turnover. Kayla McBride on the run. We might need a timeout if they score here. Over to Nafisa. Alana Smith guarded by Sabrina. She goes out to McBride. Corner to Courtney Williams. She pump fakes for 3. Mid-range jump shot. Timeout, Sandy. And the Minnesota Lynx, that's why they're one of the best third quarter teams in the league. They're on a 7-0 run, 20-point game. Minnesota calls a timeout. They did say Minnesota is one of the better third quarter teams. They have the highest third scoring margin in the third quarter. They come out and score a quick 7. Liberty forced to take a timeout here. Sort of glad I didn't go to this game. I would have been upset. So New York had cut it down all the way to 12. 13 actually. And then they give up a quick 7 to start this third quarter. That's the danger with a team that shoots 3 as well as Minnesota. If you leave anybody open, they're capable of knocking down that 3. You're forced to jump out at them, and it puts the ball in rotation, and it gets you in a world of trouble. Beulah says, I think the Lynx making the final. Yeah. The way they've been playing, the way they play, everybody's a threat on the floor. Everybody's a threat from every part of the court. Everybody's a threat. Maddox said, do you believe the Liberty could beat the Lynx in a series? It'll be tough, given what we've seen in the regular season. It will be tough. Adjustments have to be made. It takes probably a little bit of luck as well, because they have gotten a couple fortunate bounces. The Liberty have played great defense, and the ball bounces off somebody's foot right to a wide open player who hits the shot. But what I've seen this season so far, nothing. The Liberty had that one good game against the Lynx after the Commissioner's Cup, but otherwise, it hasn't been really good. The Lynx are a good defensive team, and they can score. And the Liberty are struggling to deal with that right now. So like a team like the Aces, you have Kia Stokes, who's not really a 3-point threat. Chelsea Gray can hit threes, but she's not a dead-eye 3-point shooter. And you can sort of match up with the Aces as good as Asia is. Asia will get hers, but you can sort of match up this season with them. For the Lynx, Alana Smith shoots threes. Bridget Carleton shoots threes. McBride shoots threes. It's tough. Yeah, Maddox, you might be right. Yeah, I'm not too sure about it either. Not too sure about it. And they have Nafisa Collier, who's a bona fide star. So they got a bunch of 3-point shooters. See, that's a pass that Sabrina should have made to the corner to Benijah. She forces a tough 2 and misses over to Carleton. Carleton down to Alana Smith. Alana Smith goes, tries to hand it off. She gets it to Nafisa. Nafisa goes up, misses the layup, gets her put back, and scores. 9-0 run here by the Lynx. This is their largest deficit of the season. Benijah gets the ball and gets fouled by Courtney Williams. This is the largest deficit of the season for New York, 61-39. Getting outworked, out-hustled, out-rebounded. You got to pick a struggle. Vandersloot with the ball. Vandersloot over to Ionescu. Ionescu comes off the screen. Ionescu down to Sabrina. To Stewie. Stewie turnaround jump shot, misses. And rebound to Minnesota. New York yet to score in the quarter. Courtney Williams comes off the screen. Courtney Williams on the attack, mid-range. She hangs and passes it to Nafisa over to McBride. McBride bounce pass to Nafisa, gets blocked by Jonquel, gets her own rebound again. Over to Carlton, tapped out by Sabrina. Minnesota gets it again. 4 seconds. Courtney Williams, mid-range jump shot, and she buries it. New York getting absolutely abused here. 63-39. New York has not scored yet. Vandersloot over to Jonquel, over to Benijah. Benijah on the drive. Great rotation by the Lynx. Vandersloot on the drive, gets into the paint. Stewie, foul line jump shot. She's short, can't make it. Wide open, misses it. The Lynx are in cruise control right now. Williams comes off the screen. Williams over to Nafisa. Nafisa, and fouled by Jonquel Jones on the perimeter. The absolute beatdown right now here in New York. 63-39. The 24-point deficit right now, their largest deficit of the season. Ball in play here with the Lynx. McBride with the ball. 11-0 run. McBride for three. She misses. Stewie with the rebound. Let's see if New York can actually put the ball in the basket. Gets fouled by Carlton. So let's see if New York can make a cut into this deficit here. They can absolutely worked. Offense looks bad, and they can't. And the Lynx get them in a lot of defensive rotations. Ball to Stewie. Stewie on the attack. Move the ball. Somebody's open. Stewie attacks though, misses. Gets her own rebound, goes up, and scores. The Liberty finally score at almost the 6-minute mark in the third quarter. Jonquel, be careful with the reaching. Liberty trying to up the defensive pressure here. Courtney Williams with the ball. Ball down to Alana Smith, backing down on Leo. She goes through, stops, tries to step through, throws it up. Great defense, but Stewie can't. Oh, she does save the rebound. Gets it over to Sabrina. You need a gang rebound down there. Let's see if the Liberty can get a bucket here. Sabrina over to Jonquel. The right side to Benijah. Benijah going off the screen, going to the right. Benijah goes under the basket. Over to Sabrina. Sabrina pump fakes, resets for three. Rush three, and Benijah gets the offensive rebound. Benijah gets the screen from Sab. Bounce pass to Sabrina. Sabrina goes up, misses. Jonquel rebound, goes up, and she misses her own rebound, and they call a foul there. Jonquel Jones looks gassed there. Looks a little tired. But the Liberty can look at this deficit. They just have to focus on their own game, take a possession at a time, and try and cut this lead down as much as possible. Jonquel hits the first. Do the same thing the Aces did to them last Sunday. I think it was last Sunday, right? Jonquel, second free throw is up and misses. Rebound to Nafisa. Courtney Williams with the ball. Courtney Williams on the drive, goes under the basket, reverse layup, throws it up. It falls off. Rebound to Jonquel. Jonquel brings it across half court. Jonquel, handoff to Sabrina. Sabrina dribbling at the top of the key. Gets the screen from Stewie. Picks up her dribble, tries to bounce past it. It goes off Nafisa's foot. Nafisa on the drive, slows it down, gets it to Carlton. Carlton over to Nafisa. Nafisa on the drive, over to Carlton. Great recovery by Benijah. Carlton foul line, jump shot, foul, and one. Bridget Carlton. Bridget Carlton, I think, had 1 point in the last game against New York. She hits a tough fall away jump shot from the foul line and gets fouled. So when it's your night, It's your night. That's what happens when you're a 3-point threat. They have to close out a little tougher. Bridget Carleton misses the free throw, though. It's 65-42. Stewie over to John Quell. John Quell down to Leo. Leo over to John Quell. There's no other movement. People just standing still here. Stewie with the ball. Hand off to Sabrina. Sabrina pulls up for three. Misses. Leo with the offensive rebound. Out to John Quell. John Quell pump fake. Step back. Three. And she misses. Liberty trying to get it all back in one possession. Courtney Williams with the ball. Comes off the screen. And they call a moving screen by Alana Smith. One for 10 shooting here in the third quarter. 1 for 10. Contribute that to the Minnesota defense, forcing the Liberty into tough shots. Minnesota, on the other hand, 6 for 12 here in the quarter. Benija to Sabali. Sabali to Benija. Benija dribbles going to her left. Benija stops. And miscommunication there. Stewie fakes the cut, comes back. Benija turns it over. Nafisa on the break. And Niara Sabali runs into her back. It's a foul. Minnesota playing excellent team basketball here. Carleton on the inbound gets it to Nafisa. Nafisa to Heidemann, who's checked in. Heidemann over to Smith. Smith to Carleton. Carleton on the drive. All the way to the paint. Finds Nafisa. Baseline jump shot. Scores. It's drastic, the difference in offense between both teams. Minnesota, they take their time. Lainey Hamilton shoots the three. Ball gets tipped around. Minnesota with the rebound. Liberty essentially look like they're giving up right now. They're just shooting a bunch of threes. No ball movement. And they call a kickball here by Niara Sabali. The Lynx have 20 assists here in the third quarter. They average 23. Bridget down to Alana Smith. Alana Smith on the drive. Alana Smith stops. Tries to reverse. Shoots a jump shot. Leo with the block. Stewie on the attack. Stewie gets cut off by Nafisa and they call a foul. A quarter to forget for the Liberty. 3 points here in the quarter. Three points in the quarter for the Liberty at the 3-minute mark. Benija over to Stewie. Stewie on the attack. Stewie throws it up and they call a foul. They're on the drive. So Stewie goes to the line. Stewie hits the first free throw. This is a horrible quarter for the Liberty. 4 points in the quarter so far. And she misses the second. So it's 67-43 here. Minnesota outscoring the Liberty 15-4 here in the third quarter. Took the Liberty 4 minutes to score 3 points. Ball down to Nafisa. Niara with the rotation and gets the steal. Let's see what offense the Liberty can run here to get a good possession. Over to Niara. Back to Benija. Top of the key. Guarded by Hines Allen. Benija tries to drive. Benija on the drive into the paint. One leg fall away. And Benija knocks down the fall away jump shot. 67-45. McBride with the ball. McBride dribbles to the left side. Gets it to Carleton. Why are they leaving Carleton wide open? Over to Nafisa. Nafisa for the corner three. And she they say that was a 2? It was a long 2 by Nafisa. Minnesota shooting excellent from the field. Stewie into the paint. Over to Kayla Thornton. Wide open for 3. Oh, she misses. Ball gets tipped and saved by Minnesota. So the same shots that New York is getting. Oh, Leo gets a hand on it and gets a steal. Over to Leo. Slow it down. Oh, finds Stewie on the cut. And Stewie gets the layup. Easiest bucket of the night. You're right, Michael Grady. 69-47 here. Ball to Bridget. Is New York running a zone here? You don't run zone against a three-point shooter. Oh, Leo with the rotation, but they leave Hines Allen open. Looks like Sandy's just trying any defense, and Minnesota picks it right apart. They were running a zone here. Nobody knew who to rotate out to the wide open player, and they get an easy layup. Stewie tries to go behind the back. Niara dives on the floor, and they call a foul there. So it looks like New York would be going to the line. 4 fouls on the FISA. I don't think the zone is the way to go against a three-point shooting team. You play zone against teams that don't shoot the three-pointer as well. But as we've seen tonight, they've hit every three-point shot. Almost every three-point shot they've taken. They're 7 for 13 from three, 53%. So more often than not, they're going to make it. So Niara Sabli at the line for free throws. She misses the first. Liberty struggling from the line too. They're missing crucial free throws. 8 for 12 from the line. Now Sandy Brondello says we're going back to 5, meaning man-to-man defense. No more zone. Niara knocks down the second. So it's 71-48. 9 points scored in this quarter so far for the Liberty. Kayla McBride coming off the screen. Leo playing great defense on her. Just guard your man. Stick to your man. Ball to Heidemann. Heidemann on the drive. Sabrina has to fight back over that. McBride for 3. You cannot leave her open. And we keep leaving their three-point shooters open. 74-48. Niara on the drive. Left-hand layup is good for Niara. 74-50. Hines Allen with the ball. Hines Allen throws a bad pass. Stolen by Stewie. Stewie on the run. Stewie over to Sabrina. Can Sabrina hit a 3? Sabrina for 3. Misses. And she gets the long rebound, and they'll slow it down. About 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Sabrina over to Niara. Back to Sabrina. Sabrina comes off. Sabrina pulls up for 3. And she misses again. Leo with the rebound. Sabrina throws it up at the buzzer. And Sabrina with 3 straight threes and misses all threes. It's just that type of night for the Liberty. 22-11 in that third quarter. The Minnesota Lynx outscored the Liberty, and it's a 24-point game going into the fourth quarter. .24 game. So let's get ready for the fourth quarter. I'm glad I didn't go to this game. What's up, Les? What's going on? Yeah, it's an ugly one. Ugly one. Minnesota putting belt to behind. I haven't even been looking at the other scores for the other games because I've been so focused on the Liberty stinking it up. But looking at the scores, Indiana's up 82-80 here in the third quarter. Atlanta is up 50-43 in a low-scoring affair here. It's funny because they had Minnesota plus 5.5 on the spread if you're into the gambling, the sports betting. And they're about to blow that out and then some. Liz said your Ravens lost too. Yeah, I just got that notification that the Ravens lost, the 49ers lost. So a lot of big teams going down today. But back to this game, this disappointing game for the Liberty so far. 24-point deficit right now going into the fourth. They didn't score. They gave up a quick 9 points to the Lynx to start the third quarter. They didn't score until 6 minutes to go in the quarter. They finished with 11 points in the quarter. For Minnesota, they get an offense from everywhere. You got 19 from Bridget, 14 from Nafisa, 10 from Hines Allen, 10 from Courtney Williams, 8 from McBride. The Liberty, you only got 2 players in double figures, 21 from Stewie, 10 from Sabrina. Liberty, look at the rebounding. Liberty getting beat on the boards 30-23. Minnesota has 23 assists. New York only has 11. Turnover wise, Minnesota's up to 8. New York's up to 10. New York shooting 38% from the field, 5 for 19 from 3 for 26%. Minnesota shooting 8 for 14 from 3 for 57%. So the better 3-point shooting team has shot less than the worst 3-point shooting team. Man, words are hard. I can't even talk. But the Liberty start the fourth quarter with the ball, so let's see if they can show some fight here in this fourth quarter, at least make the deficit look respectable. Liberty were trying to clinch the number 1 seed in the playoffs today. If they won, the win is looking less likely here. I don't think Minnesota will blow a 24-point lead here. So we'll see what happens. Andrew says the New York Liberty look awful. They look terrible. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I have no disagreements with you there. They look bad. That third quarter was a microcosm of this whole game. And you can see the stark differences between and I guess the clock didn't start. I'm not sure what happened there. As we start the fourth. But you can see a team in Minnesota who's a very good 3-point shooting team, willing to move the basketball. And then you see a team like New York, when everything is going good, they're moving the basketball. When things get tight, people just keep trying to go ISO. Nobody's cutting to the ball. Nobody's doing the little things. Andrew said, I guess the New York Liberty are just not that good. No, they're good. That's why they have the number 1 seed right now. But when you're playing a team that's right behind you at number 2, as Niara Sabali scores the spin move layup, you got to come with your A game all the time. And tonight, Minnesota's the better team. Oh, and they call a foul there on Stewie. She thought they had to steal on Maisha Hines Allen, but they called a reach in there. Andrew says, I bet you half of the media is laughing. They can laugh all they want. New York's still the number 1 seed. So they can laugh all they want. Ball in play here. Hines Allen with 8 on the clock. Bridget Carlton shoots the baseline jump shot, misses. Great recovery by Niara to help on that rotation. Stewie over to Sabrina. Sabrina to Stewie. Stewie for 3. Boom! Stewie knocks down the 3. Let's see if that can motivate the Liberty here. They finally get it under 20. It's 74-55. Heidemann with the ball. Heidemann dribbles back out to the 3. Xander Lassini finds the cutting Hines Allen. She picks up her dribble. Over to Xander Lassini. Tries to drop it off. Stewie gets a hand on it. Sabrina taps. Oh, Sabrina steps out of bounds. She thought she saved it. That should be 3 on the shot clock. Andrew says, you're supposed to be the best team in the WNBA. Yeah. Sometimes the best teams have awful nights. It's basketball. You got to come to play. If you don't play, you can get beat. Ball in play to the Lynx. Oh, McBride passes it right to Niara Sabali. Sabrina with the ball. Over to Sabali. Sabali finds a cutting Stewie. Stewie goes up, gets fouled, and won Brianna Stewart. So the Liberty showing some life here in the fourth quarter. Let's see if it's too little, too late. But they're showing a little bit of life here. That's what needs to happen. Cuts off the ball. All right, Andrew. I've answered this question and mentioned that a bunch of times, my friend. So a timeout called by Minnesota. Breanna Stewart will go to the line for free throw. 74-57 New York on a 7-0 run here to start the fourth. They just need to get it to 10, and then it's a possession game here. It's a nice lineup they have on the floor right now. With Stewie, Sabrina, Niara, Kayla, and I think Leo is the other person. So we're at a timeout right now. 74-57 New York trying to make a late comeback here against the number 2 seed in the WNBA. Let's see if it's too little, too late. Looking at the other games that are going on, Indiana's up 84-83 on Dallas. And looks like Atlanta is up only 2 points on Washington. So those two games are going to come down to the wire as well. Looking at the scoring, you have Natasha Howard with 22 points for the Wings. You got 27 for Kelsey Mitchell. She's been on a scoring tear since the Olympic break. Caitlin Clark with 6 assists. She has 22 points and 6 assists. 1 rebound. Satu Sabli has 22 points and 6 rebounds for the Wings. In the Atlanta Dream Washington Mystics game, you have Tina Charles, 16 points, 8 rebounds. You have Jordan Canada with 12 points. The Mystics, Brittany Sykes only with 6 points. Sika Kone with 11 points. Wow, Sika Kone. She was with the Minnesota Lynx at the beginning of this season. And she's their leading scorer. That's not a recipe. That's not a good recipe if Sika Kone is your leading scorer. But it's only a 1-point game, so who am I to say anything? All right, looks like the broadcast is restarting right now. They're showing the block of the game, and it was Kennedy Burke in that first quarter when she got Dorka Juhas with the block, spiked it into the first row. So Breanna Stewart coming back to shoot that free throw after she got fouled and made that basket before the timeout. Stewie for the 3-point play, and she buries it. So it's 74-58. New York trying to inch back into this game possession by possession. They just have to keep up the defensive pressure. 8-0 run in the last minute 13. New York in the zone again. Alonda Smith throws a pass too high for Courtney Williams. The zone threw them off, and it's a turnover to Minnesota. Let's see if New York can get up a basket here. Sabrina with the ball. Gets the screen from Sabali. Niara, that is. Gets a rescreen. Sabrina on the attack. Throws it out to Stewie. Back to Sabrina. Sabrina, no hesitation for 3. Misses. Niara with the rebound. Leo to Stewie. Stewie on the attack on Nafisa. Goes up. Hangs. Throws it up. And doesn't secure the Lynx have the rebound. And they call a foul there. So Kayla Thornton with the reach-in foul. So New York was doing work when they were getting the ball into the paint there. They resorted for a shot 3. That was definitely a foul by Kayla Thornton. Smacked her whole arm. Courtney Williams with the ball. Courtney Williams comes off the screen. Over to Alana Smith. Alana Smith, no hesitation for 3. Bounces high and rebound to Niara. It looked like the ball made a weird bounce and almost hit off her and went out of bounds. Sabrina, over to Niara. Niara on the attack goes into Nafisa and scores. Nafisa says Niara says get in the weight room. And it's a 14-point game here. Courtney Williams passed to Alana Smith. And it's a turnover by Minnesota. They're getting rattled here. Crowd getting back into it. 14-point game. New York trying to make a run here. 10-0 run to start this quarter. Minnesota has yet to score, so they're returning the favor. Sabrina with the ball. Sabrina on the drive, gets the screen. Gets a rescreen from Niara. Sabrina on the attack. Somebody's open. Gets it to Kayla. Kayla for three. Kayla Thornton knocks down the three. And it's a 13-0 run, 11-point game here. New York getting right back into it. Crowds getting into it here in Barclays. Courtney Williams with the ball. Oh, and Courtney Williams got a back cut right to the layup and scores. That was a great play there. I can't even hate. 13-point game here, though. Sabrina dribbling out by half court. Drives into the paint. Sabrina into the paint. Hangs, throws it up. And somebody calls a late foul there. Oh, the back ref calls a foul. So Sabrina will go to the line for 2 free throws. Kayla Thornton finally hits a 3. And she's hyped. Kayla Thornton was going through a little bit of a 3-point slump. And she hits this one. Kat, yeah, you're probably a little ahead of me. Streaming on YouTube TV, it's behind. As she hits the first. Yeah, that's the only thing that I don't like about streaming when it comes to sports. Like with these YouTube TV, football, all those. They're still behind if you're watching on cable or something. She hits both. It's 11-point game here. This would be a big win for New York if they could walk down the second best team. Courtney Williams, mid-range jump shot. Not going to walk him down if she's hitting that. She hits the mid-range jump shot. You have to fight over those screens to get with her or not close her off. Stewie on the cut. Stewie, late catch, gets her own rebound. Stewie pump fakes, looking for somebody, gets it to Leo. Leo back to Stewie. Stewie for 3, gets fouled on the 3-point attempt by Kayla McBride. So they're going to review it and make sure she's behind the line. But Stewie, if this is a 3-point attempt, will go to the line for... Yeah, she smacks her right on the arm. The feet, let's see if she's behind. Yeah, ooh, that's close. Do they have another angle? That is close. Yeah, Tudo, we showing fight, bro. That is a close one right there. They called it a 3 on the floor, I believe. So if there's no conclusive evidence, that angle is just tough. I can see some light there, but I'm not too sure. So it may be a 3-point field free throws here. But Liberty, if this is a 3-point attempt, if Stewie can hit all 3, they can get it down to 10. That would be the closest they've been since the beginning of the third quarter. Oh, they say it's a 2. They say it's a 2. That's tough how they could... I don't know. Yeah, it's probably a 2. Yeah, it's probably a 2. I got to give him that. There's no other angle there. That's tough. So Stewie, let's see if she can knock down some free throws. She's been making one, missing one. Let's see if she can hit both. First free throw is up, and Stewie knocks it down. 28 and 11 for Stewie. And she rattles in the second. That was close. 11-point game. 6 minutes to go. It's up to New York. You got to continue to get stops. Nafisa back to Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams on the drive. Over to Alana Smith. To Nafisa. Nafisa to Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams on the drive out to Alana Smith for 3. She misses. New York can get it down to single digits here. Stewie on the run. And Stewie runs right into Nafisa and loses the ball. Over to Nafisa on the run. Nafisa goes up, left hand layup, and scores. Stewie trying to do a little bit too much there and runs right into Nafisa, loses the ball. Turnovers, man. Leo with the late pass to Niara. The ball has to move quicker than that. You see them in rotation. Man, that was a momentum killer right there. Liberty had gotten a stop. Stewie going coast to coast, runs right into Nafisa's chest and loses the ball. Stewie comes off the screen, goes up, misses, gets her own rebound, put back, scores. Breanna Stewart trying to do it all to try and get the team back into this game. 80-69. Ball to Kayla McBride. Kayla McBride gets late doubled, and they call a jump ball here. So Stewie faked like she was going to go with the roller and double. Stewie is over here in super tired here. And so it looks like it's a timeout here. Yeah, so we're in a timeout right now. We are in a timeout, people. This game is coming down to the wire. Liberty trying to claw their way back down. They were down as many as 27, I believe it was. And they're within 11 at the moment. And they're doing all of this without Jonquel Jones on the floor. So in this quarter, New York is outscoring Minnesota 19-6 in this quarter. 19-6. James says 26 points for CC. Oh, CC doing her thing. Looking at that game, they're up 2 points with about 5.5 to go. CC with 26 and 6. You got Natasha Howard and Sabali with both with 22 each. 17 from Enrique. Atlanta is up by 2 against the Mystics. Tina Charles with 18 and 8. I did want CC to get 10 assists tonight. That's what I put her down for, but it's not looking that way. But we shall see. All right, we're still in commercial. If you're just joining, thank you everybody for tuning in for this watch along. It's been a up and down. It's been a more down than up game if you're a Liberty fan. Liberty went down 30-17 to start the game. They kept it about the same, that same deficit in the second quarter. Third quarter, absolute struggle. 22-11, Minnesota outscored the Liberty. Liberty went down as many as 20 plus, about 27, I think it was. The Liberty started off this quarter on an 11-0 run. It's now 19-6. Liberty gonna have to string together some more stops here. I don't know how much Stewie has left in the tank, but she has to rely on her teammates here. If she's getting tired, has to rely on her teammates to make them get you into a better position so that your shots can be easier. All right, so it's a jump ball here between McBride and Stewie. Stewie with 31 points and 13 rebounds. All right, let's see what happens here. Jump ball here. 4 minutes, 50 seconds to go between McBride and Stewie. And I guess McBride just takes the violation. So New York basketball, 4 minutes, 50 seconds to go. They're rocking with this lineup here that I see. So I see Stewie. I see Sabrina. I see Niara. Kayla Thornton. Stewie for 3. Oh, Breanna Stewart knocks down the 3. And we're in single digits, an 8-point game here, people. Let me sit up. Season high for Stewie. Courtney Williams with the ball. Oh, Leo with the steal. Leo chases it down. Courtney Williams hits it out of bounds. It's New York basketball. New York showing some fight. This is what Jonathan Kolb envisioned in the offseason when he's got Leonie Fibich over here. Get some length. No, Sabrina, not the shot we needed. Sabrina, no. Sabrina, we had the momentum. Don't need the three. Jeez, Sabrina. Oh, moment. I know you're trying to go for the kill shot, but geez, we just got a nice stop. Minnesota's ball, 80-72. McBride with the ball. McBride on the drive. McBride steps back over to Williams. Williams on the attack. Oh, a good hesitation move over to McBride. Tries to feed it through to Nafisa. They bring a double. Nafisa, fall away jump shot, bounces around. Stewie with the rebound. Keeps the dribble alive. Gets it to Sabrina. Sabrina, sometimes you have to know when it's not your night. Sabrina over to Stewie. Stewie pump fake. Step back. Stewie for three. Oh, see? And then now the Liberty getting into shooting threes now. 80-72. It's an 8-point game. Don't let this comeback go to waste. You're giving Minnesota easy possessions. McBride left wide open for three, and that's what happens. The Liberty take two ill-advised threes, mess up in rotation, and give McBride a wide open three to push it back to 11. Sabrina rotating down to the big when she should be rotating over to the shooter. And Kayla McBride knocks down the big left wing three. 83-72. See what I mean? The Liberty got it down to 8. Sabrina takes an ill-advised contested three. Stewie comes down, takes an ill-advised three, and then they give up a wide open three. That's the one thing that's the give and take with Sabrina. When she's on and hitting those, it goes well. When she's off and she continues to try and shoot herself out of it, it can steer your team the wrong direction. So now the Liberty have some work to do with 3:25 to go. 11-point game. It's been a whirlwind of a quarter here. Ball in play. Sabrina with the ball. Sabrina comes off the screen from Niara. They fight over it. Stewie drives into the paint, goes up. Courtney Williams gets the block. It goes out of bounds. Ball in play to the Liberty. Stewie steps back, gets it to Sabrina. Sabrina with 3 on the clock. Sabrina got to look at the clock. Sabrina chucks it up. And it's an air ball. Sabrina unaware of the clock. When she's supposed to shoot it quick, she doesn't. And it's a shot clock violation. Liberty running out of steam here. Two for 10 from the 3-point line for Sabrina tonight. Maisha Hines-Allen with the ball. Gets it to Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams dribbles over to McBride. McBride gets it to Williams. Courtney Williams on the attack. Mid-range jump shot. Misses. Got to get the rebound. Hines-Allen gets the rebound. Hines-Allen on the drive. Goes up. Layup. Misses. Stewie with the rebound. 15 rebounds for Stewie. Sabrina on the drive into the paint. Out to Stewie. Stewie for 3. Nope. The legs are gone there. The legs are gone. I know. Courtney, the ball to Hines-Allen. Hines-Allen goes up and gets fouled. The Liberty, they had their chances and they've just run out of gas here. They have run out of gas. So Hines-Allen will go to the line for free throws. Knocks down the first. Liberty had it down to 8. And they've absolutely just fallen apart here. 85-72 here. 85-72. New York on the drive. Sabrina drives into the paint. Misses, but Stewie with the tip-in and scores. Breanna Stewart, 36 point. Wall says ain't finna touch New York in a parlay. I'm a New York fan and I put Minnesota plus 5.5, so that cash is for me. But Breanna Stewart up to 36 points and 16 rebounds. It's a 11-point game here. All right, Beulah, I'll see you at the next one. Aces versus Sun. $85-74, 2 minutes to go in this game. New York down by as many as 27, cut it down to 8, and they just ran out of steam there, shooting a bunch of threes, and gave Minnesota time to get back into this. Yer said, who's on the court? You got Stewie, Sabali, Thornton, Febich, and Ionescu for the Liberty. Almost called them the Wolves. The Lynx, they have their starters on the court. Williams, McBride, Carlton, Collier, and Smith. Let's see if they take Hines Allen out. Yeah. Minnesota, New York was bricking a lot of threes, bro. New York bricking a lot of threes. Minnesota was hitting a bunch of threes. Minnesota is the #1 3-point percentage team in the W. Salute to Walls. I've seen the sub, my boy. Appreciate it. Ball gets tipped out and it stays with Minnesota. 17 seconds to go. The Liberty were 16-2 at home. Wait, 16-2? Does that make sense? Yeah, 16-2 at home for the Liberty this year. Just gonna be 16-3 after this loss because it's looking like a loss now. McBride guarded by Sabrina. Courtney Williams goes under. They leave McBride open for 3. Bounces around, fight for the rebound, and Stewie secures it. Stewie with the ball. Now they need threes. Stewie comes off. Sabrina for deep 3. She can't throw a rock in the ocean from 3 in the second half. Niara gets the putback and scores. Reset timeout called by Minnesota. Now Minnesota wants to close this out. Minnesota wants to close this out, so they're gonna ride the starters all the way down until this is over. Sabrina 2 for 11 from 3. Can't throw a rock in the ocean. McBride, that should be off McBride. Oh, but they say it stays with the Lynx. All right, Liz, I'll see you in a bit for the next one. Ball should be in play now. They're showing replays. They get the ball into Courtney Williams, pump fakes smartly and tries to waste more time here. Bridget Carlton over to McBride. McBride to Carlton. Carlton down to Nafisa. Back to... They're just passing the ball around. Gets to Courtney Williams. She travels. So 1 minute, 5 seconds to go here. New York down by 9. Carolina says Caitlin has 33. Oh, I knew that game was going over in points. Man, I'm smart. Ball in play. Sabrina has the ball. Sabrina looking for Stewie. You got to look at the clock. You don't have time to waste. Sabrina on the drive, gets into the paint, gets fouled on the drive by Maisha Hines Allen. So Sabrina will go to the line for free throws with the clock stopped at 56 seconds. My bad. I thought I hit play on the clock. Let me get that situated for us. 56 seconds to go, y'all. 56 seconds. Oh, I see what happens. I closed this thing. 0. 56. There we go. 56 seconds to go. Sabrina hits the first free throw. Kelsey got 32. Jeez. Sabrina's second free throw. She didn't look confident in that. She like short armed that one. Oh, and they call a foul from behind by Stewie. She tried to get the steal on McBride. Oh, that was a foul to give by New York. New York shot 14 for 19. So 52 seconds to go here. It's an 8-point game. McBride with the ball. Oh, it crosses over on Sabrina. Over to Nafisa. Nafisa to Kayla. They saying we're not gonna foul. We're just gonna play straight up here. They're just gonna waste time, Minnesota. McBride with the ball. Switch that. There you go. McBride picks up her dribble over to Williams. Williams goes behind the back. Williams shoots the contested jump shot, and they call a shooting foul there by Breanna Stewart. They call a push? They call a shooting foul there on Stewie. That pretty much seals the game there. Aaliyah with 13, 6, and 6. Aaliyah hooping. Okay. Oh, that Aaliyah. So, no challenge. Courtney Williams does miss the free throw, so I guess the challenge works out. Andrew, I'm not worried about my team. Every team has a bad game, and this was our bad game. We showed fight in this fourth quarter, so that gives me good thoughts going into the rest of these games and to the playoffs. Courtney Williams hits the second, and it's 86-77, a 9-point game. If you're just joining, New York was down by 27 points here. And they fought back all fourth quarter. They got it down to within 8, and then they ran out of gas. Breanna Stewart leads all scorers with 36 points, 17 rebounds. If you bet on Jonquel Jones today, it was a bad day for you to bet on her. I bet her to get 10 points. She finishes with 9 on 2 missed free throws. So I'm a little bit in pain right now. Yer said Liberty might as well give up. They ain't gonna give up. I forgot what game we were playing. We was losing, and they just kept fouling even though they couldn't get close. But that's the Liberty way. Wait till it's too late. Yours says, just up to you, bro. Voice perfect for commentary. Some people be sounding dry. So I appreciate that, bro. Salute. Really appreciate that. I've been doing this it's my second year doing this. Started off doing primarily Liberty streams. Now I do a majority of the WNBA. So appreciate you tuning in and subbing. All right, so both teams in the bonus. 29 seconds to go here. Let me run my clock down. 29 seconds to go. Liberty just need to let this one go and go into Washington and correct something. Sabrina gets it to Stewie. Stewie on the attack. Stewie post up against Nafisa. UConn on UConn. Fall away jump shot. Smack on the elbow by Nafisa. And Stewie will go to the line for free throws. Looking at these other games, oh man, I want to switch to this other game. Who has the ball? Oh no. Oh, this game is over. 108, 106 in Indiana, Dallas. Dang, I'm missing a good one there. Stewie hits the first. Looks like a double technical on Tierra and Aaliyah Boston. It's getting crazy over there. Oh, Washington takes the lead on Atlanta. Atlanta, man, disappointing team. Stewie hits the second. Ball inbound to Hines Allen. They double Hines Allen. Off her leg. Oh, they don't get the steal. Oh, they do get the steal. Stewie with the ball. Stewie to Sabrina. Sabrina double clutches and smokes the layup. Rebound to Stewie. Stewie shoots the jump shot. She misses. And that's pretty much sums up the game. Sabrina takes a contested layup, misses. Stewie gets the rebound, tries to shoot a jump shot, misses. I don't think there's been no subs for the Liberty this whole fourth quarter. All of these players have played the whole fourth quarter. But Just can't get over that hump there. Sabrina, a night to forget. Sabrina, 4 for 21 for Sabrina from the field. 13 points, 8 assists, 2 for 12 from 3. Now the subs come in for Minnesota. Now the subs are coming in. So 87-79. Everybody calls off the dogs now with 8 points to go. Both Liberty and Minnesota take out their starters. Nafisa at the line for free throw, and she buries it. So it's 78-79. Subs are in. They'll just dribble out the quarter. And the Liberty's comeback falls short as they lose to the second-seeded Minnesota Lynx. Final score, 88-79. Minnesota deserved this win from the word go. Liberty tried to fight back late, just ran out of gas there in the end of the fourth quarter. So Minnesota moves to 29-9. New York moves to 31-7. They have to wait to clinch that number 1 overall seed. Sabrina with a night to forget for her. We'll take a look at the box score, but that shooting percentage is god awful, to be completely honest with you. I know they say shoot or shoot, but my goodness, that was bad. Let's take a quick look at the box score before I end the stream, and then we come back in about 45 minutes for Connecticut Aces. So Lynx 88, New York 79. Minnesota outscored New York 30-17 in the first quarter. They were tied 22-22 in the second. Minnesota took off in that third, 22-11 in the third. And then New York outscored Minnesota 29-14 in the fourth. But it just wasn't enough. Comeback falls short. For Minnesota, Bridget Carleton, 19 points. And she was 5 for 7 from 3. Liberty just kept losing her in rotation, and she made them pay. Alana Smith, 6 points, 7 rebounds. Nafisa Collier with 18 points and 13 rebounds. Double-double for her. Kayla McBride with 11 points and 6 assists. She was 3 for 5 from 3. Courtney Williams, 15 points and 5 assists. Hines Allen off the bench with 12 points. Xander Lassini with 2. Heidemann with 5. The rest of their bench didn't score. They shot 50% from 3, 9 for 18, 53% from the field, 81% from the line. They only missed 2 free throws. For the Liberty, Benigja Laney-Hamilton only played 24 minutes, 5 points tonight. Brianna Stewart with 38 points and 18 rebounds, season high in both categories, I believe. Jonquel Jones with 9 points and 5 rebounds. Vandersloot with 2 points in her 15 minutes. Sabrina Ionescu, horrible night, 4 for 21, 2 for 12. This is just all bad numbers right here. 4 for 21, 2 for 12 from three-point line. She took more than the rest of the team, almost the rest of the team combined, for 13 points. Kayla Thornton, 3 points. Niara Sabli gave him a spark with 9 points. And that's how that ended. Liberty shoot 39% from the field, 28% from three-point line. Look at the rebounding numbers. New York closed the gap. They were getting smoked in the rebounds, but 36-35. Minnesota won that advantage. Assists, Minnesota had 26 assists to the Liberty's 17. New York did force them into 15 turnovers, so they won the turnover battle, but it wasn't enough there. All right, people. So Liberty will have to wait another day, another game to clinch that number 1 overall seed in the WNBA playoffs. It looks like we went final in Indiana. Indiana gets to win 110-109. 110-109. Caitlin Clark with 35 points and 8 assists. Satu Sabali had 27 points. Natasha Howard had 10 rebounds. Let me see. Satu Sabali. Where's the box score? That's what I need to see. So Satu Sabali had 27 points and 9 rebounds. Natasha Howard had 26 points and 10 rebounds. McCowan, it looks like she got tossed out. She had 14 points. Enrique had 20. Indiana, you had 30 from Kelsey Mitchell, 35 from Caitlin, 15 from Aaliyah Boston, and that's the scores there. Let me switch over to this Mystics Dream game. That's on League Pass. Yeah, Rick Carlisle. Yeah, he's been the head coach of the Pacers for a number of seasons now. James, let me hurry up and get to this other game. Atlanta, Washington. A nail biter there. 1 minute, 10 seconds to go. The Mystics are up 2 after being down a majority of the game. They took off in that third quarter as well, and they're outscoring them in the fourth quarter, 17-14. Leading scorers: Tina Charles with 18 points and 8 rebounds. Ariel Atkins with 16 points for the Washington Mystics. This is coming down to the wire here. I'm gonna stay on just for the remainder of this game, and then I'll head off. But thank you guys all for tuning in and sticking around. Make sure you leave a like on the stream if you like this type of content. Let's get the likes up. I'll be back after I end the stream. I'll be back at 5:50 Eastern. So in the next about 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so, for the Connecticut Sun Las Vegas Aces game. For those just joining, we're taking a look at Atlanta and Washington right now. Atlanta and Washington. I can actually pull this up over here. So you guys can take a look at some of the stats. If this thing would just clear off the screen. There we go. So as you can see on the right-hand side, Washington is leading the season series 2-1. That plays a lot into if it's a tiebreaker at the end of the season. So the Dream need to win this game to have a chance, because if the Dream and Washington end the season with the same amount of wins and losses, Washington would, if they win this game, would be the higher seed based on the tiebreaker there. So the Mystics do win the challenge here. The Mystics do win the challenge. No foul on Stephanie Dolson. So we'll keep an eye on this one. 1:10 to go in this game. It looks like Ariel Atkins missed a shot. They get an offensive rebound there. Wow. They fighting for it on the floor. And it's a jump ball here. It's a jump ball between Enxler and I think that was Ryan Howard. I'm going to go to the box score right quick. The play-by-play is throwing me off, y'all. Because the broadcast is behind the play-by-play. So I'll just keep it on the box score for now, so you guys can take a look. So it's a jump ball between Enxler and Naz Hillman, that is, of the Dream. Jump ball is up, and the Dream win the jump ball. Dream down 2 with 48 seconds to go. Looks like they scored. Let's see what happens here. Man, time is running down. What they got? Oh, they got it to Tina. Naz Hillman shoot. Oh, Naz Hillman tied the game. Wow, big shot there. And it's a timeout there. Timeout by Washington. Tie game 70-70. I think they called it reset timeout, actually. Reset timeout. If you're just joining, we're just doing a sneak peek at the end of this Atlanta-Washington game. This could play a big part into who gets that 8th seed. It looks like we have a turnover, and we might be going to overtime. This goes to overtime. I'm leaving, y'all. If this goes to overtime, I'm ending the stream. And it looks like it's going to overtime, y'all. Let me see what happens here. Engstler got the ball stripped. Jordan Canada on the run. Jordan Canada shoots the foul line, jump shot. And that's how it went to overtime. Wow. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I'll be back in the next 40 minutes or so for Vegas, Connecticut. Thanks for everyone who tuned in. Leave a like on the way out. Appreciate the support. I'll see y'all in a bit. Salute.